Shut up. No, you're getting a job. No, Bernie Sanders is giving you a job. Don't give me no grit. Bernie Sanders is giving everybody a job. What's going on, everybody? My name is LB the Realist, and this is Surrealistic Studios, where the real is real. So, Bernie Sanders to announce plan to guarantee every American a job. Even cats. No, I don't know about the cat thing, but check this out. This article's it's about 5 days old, but I wanted to go ahead and read through the basics of what's going on because Bernie Sanders hasn't actually released his plan yet. You're still getting a job, but he's released that he will announce that he will have a plan. So, Senator Bernie Sanders, independent in Vermont, will announce a plan for the federal government to guarantee a job paying $15 an hour and health care benefits to every American worker who wants or needs one, embracing the kind of large-scale government works project that Democrats have shied away from in recent decades. Sanders' job guarantee would fund hundreds of projects through the United States aimed at addressing priorities such as infrastructure, caregiving, the environment, education, and other goals. Under the job guarantee, every American will be entitled to a job under one of these projects or receive job training to be able to do so, according to an early draft of the proposal. A representative for Sanders' office said they had not yet done a cost estimate for the plan or decided how it would be funded, saying they were still crafting the proposal. Sanders joins two other rumored 2020 Democratic presidential contenders who have expressed support for the idea of a jobs guarantee. The push reflects a leftward move in the party's economic policy, away from President Barack Obama's use of public-private partnerships or government incentives to reshape private markets and toward an unambiguous embrace of direct government intervention. Job guarantee advocates say their plan would drive up wages by significantly increasing competition for workers, ensuring that corporations have to offer more generous salaries and benefits if they want to keep their employer from working for the government. Supporters say it would also reduce racial inequality because black workers face unemployment at about twice the rates of white workers, as well as gender inequality because many iterations of the plan call for the expansion of federal child care work. The goal is to eliminate working poverty and involuntary unemployment altogether, said Derek Hamilton, an economist at the New School who has advocated for a jobs guarantee program along with Stony Brook University's Stephanie Kelton and a group of left-leaning economists at the Levy Economics Institute at Bard College. This is an opportunity for something transformative beyond the tinkering we've been doing for the last 40 years, where all the productivity gains have gone to the elite of society. Others, including some Democrats, are not convinced. The idea is also dead on arrival with Republicans in control of Congress, and conservatives have trashed the idea of a jobs guarantee as impractical and possibly expensive and dangerous to the private sector. Yeah, they've already been attacking it, even though he hasn't officially released the plan yet. It completely undercuts a lot of industries and companies. Yeah, said Brian Riedel of the conservative-leaning Manhattan Institute and think tank. There will be pressure to introduce a higher wage or certain benefits that the private sector doesn't offer. Yeah, that's the point. Ernie Tedeschi, an economist who served in Obama's Treasury Department, said there would be large logistical and practical challenges in ensuring millions of new federal jobs serve productive ends. Yeah, possibly. It would be extremely expensive, and I wonder if this is the best, most targeted use of the amount of money it would cost, he said. Yeah, we could fund it. We can definitely fund it. Critics point to potential unintended consequences in the plan. Although it would possibly boost wages for workers, those higher wages could bump up costs for private businesses, leading some to hire fewer workers or take other steps, such as reducing benefits or looking to replace workers with machines. Yeah, that's happening already. So, yeah, it's happening already. And it's going, the machines are going to take most of the jobs. So that is a reality that we're living in. These effects would be more pronounced if the plan were to pull away workers who hold private sector jobs rather than pulling in workers without jobs who wanted them. The unemployment rate currently sits at 4.1%, a historic low figure, but that figure does not include people who'd given up looking for work and the labor force participation rate. A broader measure of those not working suggests there may be people not counted among the unemployed who would join the labor force. The new government spending could also lead to inflation, decreasing the real value of workers' wages. Obama's economic initiatives generally focused on using the government to influence private markets and industries in pursuit of policy goals. His economic stimulus plan, in which he and Democrats tried to pull the United States out of a deep recession, channeled money through private enterprises to boost hiring and investment and offer tax cuts and rebates in the hope of getting people to spend more. But in a new political climate, such ideas as a jobs guarantee plan is gaining traction among prominent Democrats. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, New York, backed the idea on Twitter earlier this month. As first reported by Vox, Senator Cory Booker, New Jersey, last week announced his intention to introduce a separate bill that would create a pilot program for a jobs guarantee in 15 rural and urban areas. Under the early draft of Sanders' jobs guarantee, local, state, and American Indian tribe governments in every section of the country would send proposals for public works projects for their areas to 12 regional offices that encompass the country. These 12 regional offices would act as a clearinghouse for these projects, tasked with sending recommended projects to a new national office within the Labor Department office for final approval. Once approved, the projects would hire workers at a minimum salary of $15 an hour with paid family and medical leave and offer the same retirement, health, and sick and annual leave benefits as other federal employees. At about 2,500 job training center and employment offices already exist around the country, and the plan imagines tasking them with connecting workers to these local projects. When the programs are up and running, anyone can wander into a job center and, at least in theory, find either a job training or a job on one of these projects. The plan's authors envision millions of Americans being hired under the proposal, with the number going up during economic recessions in the private sector and down during economic booms. They also say it would significantly increase the government's involvement in the American economy to a level not seen since World War II, if ever in the country's history. Beyond how we pay for the plan, many other aspects of the job guarantee have not been specified. It's not clear what would happen to a worker who violated the terms of employment. The plan suggests creating a division of progress investigation to take disciplinary action if needed, leaving authority to the head of the Labor Department. Aides to Sanders stressed that the policy details remain in their initial stages. Proponents trace the idea to the New Deal era, when President Franklin D. Roosevelt pitched a second Bill of Rights to Congress in 1944. First on the list, the right to a useful and remunerative job. This is not a radical idea, Hamilton said. It was well couched in the Democratic platform that existed during its heyday. I'm glad Democrats are trending back to their roots. So this was from the Washington Post by Jeff Stein. So they lay out a little bit of the plan's details: $15 an hour, paid medical, family leave, you get health benefits, and he's just only announced that he will be releasing the plan. So, let me see. Let me do a quick Google search here to see if there's any updates on that. Bernie Sanders jobs guarantee. Let's see. Vox National Review. Fox News says, crazy Bernie Sanders is at it again. Let's see. CNN, while federal jobs guarantee is gaining steam with Democrats. National Review, Democrats job guarantee. Bernie Sanders is mainstream. Let's see, Vox. 4 big questions about Bernie Sanders plan. So nothing new that I can see here. I look forward to the details. I believe, obviously, that we should be able to have a living wage of $15 or more, honestly more an hour. And if you want a job, you should be able to get one. Now about how I'm pretty sure we can make this work. See, in my mind, and the reality that we live in the country that we live in 2018, because of our political climate, because of the way things are, you know, it's hard for us to imagine anything than what we have. So in my mind, I'm like, how would that work? You know, is that gonna, will the jobs be meaningful? You know, will that just drive up costs? Will it create inflation? Will it, you know, would it, all of these questions arise in my head. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if, what if, what if, what if? We can live in a land of what if we want to, but we really need to get things done at the end of the day. And at least Bernie Sanders is proposing ideas. And those are the greatest leaders, the ones who have the greatest ideas, and the ones that can carry them out and get them implemented. So I'm hoping that all the details get hashed out. One of the biggest things they're saying about it is how we're gonna pay for it. How are we gonna pay for it? We don't have the money. We don't have the money. And if you know me, you already know that I'm gonna say that's fucking bullshit. Yeah, you said it. Yeah, exactly. So we have all the money in the world to give to rich people. We have all the money in the world for wars. We have all the money in the world for endless bombs and billion-dollar helicopters and airplanes and all of this bullshit that we don't fucking need. We have how many bases around the fucking world? You know what I'm saying? We just gave Saudi Arabia how much money? We just did what? We just funded Israel again for 10 years. Come on now. Just stop the bullshit. Stop the bullshit. And we don't need to cut, you know, fucking Social Security or Medicaid or Medicare. We don't need to cut programs for the poor or for you know, we don't need to cut none of that to get these things implemented. All we need to do is slash a little bit from here and a little bit from there. The military budget is hyperinflated, but nobody wants to touch that. You know, nobody talks about that in mainstream news. You know, so don't even get me started on how we can pay for it. You know, so I'm glad that he proposed this. I'll be looking forward to the updates, and I'll stay on top of that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We've talked the whole night through. Good morning. Good morning to you. Hoping you guys are well. If you're not, do better. I'm hoping that you do better. We all need to keep progressing. So remember to keep love in your hearts. Remember to keep peace in your souls. And chicken grease, and you tell me to keep spreading down the light and keep fighting. And I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, catch me on all social media, especially Twitter, LB_THAREALIST. And I'll see you guys on the next segment. Peace.